Hello, Mountain View families. Today is the exciting day that I know many of you have been waiting for. This is the matching video for those of you that are in Blue and Junior's litter. We got some information here at the beginning of this video, and then we'll get to the puppies. So here we go. Before we get to the exciting puppies that I know you're waiting to see, I want to take just a second to talk about what to expect in this matching process and what is coming your way. So, depending on which litter you're in, you may be in a litter that is very similar in color. And so from top to bottom, they're going to be a very similar color. And so it's really going to allow us to focus on personality matches first. Yes, there's always gender interests that are involved, but finding that great personality match is the most important thing. Maybe you're in a litter that has very unique colors. And so from puppy to puppy, it is going to range of what they look like in terms of not only their tonality, but maybe their markings or very specific things. So depending on what litter you're in, what I'm about ready to say really stems for both cases, but it's going to be a little different depending on the litter that you're in. But what I have encouraged you through this entire process is to not only trust the process, but to not really zero in on one puppy. But now that we are here at this matching process, attached to this video, what you are going to see is an email where I'm asking some questions. And some of those questions may feel a little bit redundant, where I've already answered this many times to you in email, or this was definitely in our application. Robbie, why are you asking me this again? What I encourage you to do is to answer those questions, because it's just an opportunity for us to not only reiterate the answers that you are going to provide for us, but it's also an opportunity to make sure that your opinions haven't changed. And what we have found out in all the years that we've done this is many times families fill out that application and they find out by the time we get to this matching phase that their opinions have even changed, whether that be gender, whether that be color, whether that be size or disposition. Their opinions have changed as they have seen the process unfold and see the weekly pictures and the updates and all of that. So I encourage you to really think about the answers you're going to provide. You can be as simplistic as you want, or you can be as detailed as you want, but the more information you provide is just going to be fantastic for us. Some of the questions in there are going to be about confirmation in terms of body structure, color of nose, anything like that you're curious of, or that are really important to you. But another thing that we have in there that's really important is finding out, is there children in the home, or are they going to be around children a lot? Maybe that's grandkids, or maybe that's nieces and nephews, or maybe that is just kids that are in your neighborhood that the dogs are going to be around quite a bit. But making sure that we understand if they're going to be around children a lot, or if it's going to be a rare occurrence or just out on the street somewhere. In addition to that, we're going to be asking training questions. Are you planning to crate train? Do you have a training plan of taking them to puppy classes, or using Baxter and Bella, or maybe doing a combination of the two, or your own experience? That's going to help us as we frame which puppies are going to fit best with you and their tendencies based on your philosophy of training. And then finally, one of the most important questions that we're going to ask you is the big question. Is there any puppies from an aesthetic standpoint, and an aesthetic standpoint only, that are really standing out to you? Puppies that really just catch your eye week after week from the pictures. And it is really hard to not answer that question when you are factoring in potential markings. So again, depending on the litter that you're in, there may be a puppy that just has grabbed your heartstrings just because they have little cute white boots, or maybe they have party markings that are all over them, or maybe they're solid in color and that's what you've been looking for. And it's really hard to not just zero in on one puppy. We completely understand getting a puppy is really fun and exciting, and making sure that you are finding just the right one is just so tantalizing in the emotions that you are wanting to make sure that the personality fits. But in addition, if the personality is right, this is really the one that I want. What we encourage you to do is rank the puppies. In our questions, we talk about listing 3, but what I encourage you is, whether there's 5 puppies in the litter, 6, maybe there's 10 puppies in the litter, however many puppies are in your litter, we encourage you to rank them 1 to 10. And that doesn't mean that you are saying, oh, I'd absolutely hate it if I got matched with number 10, but it allows us to understand what you guys are thinking from an aesthetic standpoint and what you're looking at. And then it's the hard question that so many people struggle to answer. And that is the following question of, are there any puppies that you see that you're really struggling with thinking about taking that puppy home? Maybe it's a certain color that you're not interested in. Maybe they just have seemed aloof to you from day one. Or maybe it's just a gender thing, that I'm really not interested in this one gender. We trust your process, but if we can get this one gender, we would appreciate it. We completely understand that. List it down there so that we know. And maybe there's those of you that look at those two questions of what puppies do I like and what puppies do I not like, and you think to yourself, I'd be happy with any of them. I trust your process, and I just want whatever puppy you think is best for me. You'd be surprised how many people answer those questions that way. We're not going to rank them. There's no puppy we'd be disappointed with. And Mountain View team, we just trust you with whatever puppy you think is best for us. So if that happens to be you, feel free to answer those questions that way. As we go through this video, what you're going to be seeing me do is I'm going to be holding each puppy individually. You're going to see me manipulating their body a little bit. If you see them be a little unsure, this is an elevated table that I have them on. And so they're very aware that they're up off the ground. And at this stage, puppies like to be 2 feet in the front, 2 feet in the back, firm on the ground, and they want to feel secure. And so even though they might have that here on this table, being elevated, they're very aware that if they were to fall, they're going to fall. And all the way to the ground. And so don't read too much if a puppy looks a little unsure, a little nervous. There's also lighting in here. It's a whole different ball game for them from their play space downstairs, where they're feeling more comfortable and feeling a little bit more sure about themselves. So don't read too much into the disposition. That being said, you're going to see puppies be very calm in my hands. You're going to see just the trusting nature in every puppy. Keep in mind, they're 6-week-old puppies, which means that their personalities are still developing. But you're going to see just the loving nature in each puppy and just how adorable they are. I'm going to do my best to show you the unique markings in each puppy, the unique sizing. I'm going to go over what to expect of the future sizing of these dogs. So you're going to hear all that information from me. And then at the very end, what I encourage you to do is then respond to the email. Take your time, take a few days if you need to. We ask that you get back to us as soon as you are comfortable, as soon as you're ready. If we haven't heard from you about a day or two before matching, we will reach out to you to make sure that we get the information from you. Then what we do is we take all that information that you have done, and then we apply it to our information that we have worked on from day 1 all the way to the very end. And so what we do is every single day we are testing these puppies. We are temperament testing them. We are evaluating. Each stage is something different. From when they're young and their eyes aren't open, we're evaluating them in a very different way of how they react to certain textures, how they're reacting to being held in certain ways. As they get older, it's more interactive. It's how they interact with us when we're feeding them. It's how they interact when we're holding them. It's how they interact maybe when my children are interacting with them. And so we put them through various stages, and it's a whole algorithm that we use to put together not just one evaluation of a puppy or one day where maybe they have a good day or a bad day, but it is a course evaluation all the way through from day 1 to the matching day at 7 weeks. We take that information and we match it with the information that you have provided for us, and that gives us a couple puppies that we can say, okay, here's some great options for this family. And then what we do is we evaluate that through the whole litter, and then we pick out the puppy that we think is going to thrive in your home. What I can tell you is that there is a chance you're going to get your first puppy on your request list that you absolutely adore and you're hoping that you get. There's a chance that you don't get your first puppy, but most families get one of their top options. And in very rare cases, that is not the case, but we go through a very strenuous process with you to make sure that you know why we are matching this puppy with you and why we think this puppy is going to thrive with you. We take this matching process very seriously. We have had nothing but success over the last 20 plus years doing it this way. If you have any questions about our matching process, we want to be very open and honest throughout the whole thing and make sure that you feel comfortable, because this is going to be a new member of your family. And we want to make sure that you are very comfortable and absolutely thrilled with the puppy that you're getting matched with. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're excited to finalize this process with you. And then here in just 2 short weeks, we're going to be placing a puppy in your arms, and it's going to be an exciting day for all of us. So without further ado, here we go. Here's some puppies. So this is Pink Girl, and she's an absolute sweetheart. She's got great structure. She's got very soulful eyes. As you see her stacked here, you can see her solid backside. She is just an absolute gorgeous girl with a great looking saber tail to her. She's got great tonality in her coat. She's going to be somewhere in that apricot to cream range. She may lighten up just a bit if she's out in the sun, but she's got really rich tones all the way through her coat. And she has a fantastic shape to her overall head, great snout lines, good ear set that really is flattering. And I would expect her to be at the top of our estimated range, somewhere right around 25 pounds. And she is going to be a great pet for someone who is looking for the one and only female in this litter and looking for a companion. So this is Blue Boy, and he is ever so slightly the largest boy from the litter, just built very solidly in his structure and boning. He's got great conformation, as you see him stacked up there. He was a little uncomfortable in this position, but really solid back lines and down to that beautiful saber tail. Mostly solid color. He has a few white flecks on him, but is mostly just solid color. And one of the darker puppies from the litter, going to be more of a solid apricot color. You see that dark tone all the way up on his neck, and it's just going to kind of feed down the legs. He's got a really sweet personality, one of the most chill puppies from the litter. That doesn't mean that he is going to be nervous or anything like that, but he is a little bit more reserved and just likes to take life in and pays attention to everything around him. But he is very, very trusting, sweet boy, loves to snuggle, and is going to make a great pet for one of you. This is Green Boy, our little nugget from the litter. And he is just very petite in every way. He is the prototypical, what we would call runt from the litter. Beautiful structure to him, really great hip joints and elbow joints, just very nicely structured. Little petite tail to him there. He will have a saber tail, it'll just be a little bit shorter. He is definitely the lightest from the litter, so he will for sure be a cream color. You can see kind of some of that apricot coming through on his back, but when you get down to his roots, you can see he is just overall very light. He is a very fun and playful puppy, very small in stature. I anticipate him to be at the bottom range of our estimation here, somewhere around 17, 18 pounds. And about 15 inches at the shoulder. Really sweet boy, nice soulful eyes. He has such a loving personality, and that two-tone on his ears is going to stay as he gets older. This is Orange Boy, and he's got the most white markings of any of the puppies. You can see kind of that dramatic white up his legs. A nice, fun little boot look to him, as well as the white markings down his snout and the top of the head. All of that will be noticeable as he gets older. Nicely structured pup. Overall size, he's right in the middle of this litter, so I anticipate him to be around 20 to 22 pounds as he gets older, just as an estimate. Again, we can't confirm any of these sizes, but it's just our estimate based off of genetics. He's a little bit darker in his color palette. You can see just the dark, rich tone all the way through. Not a lot of two-tone to him. And so I anticipate him to be more of an apricot color, maybe even darken up ever so slightly, but he won't get to the red category. He has just really cute features. More of a small set nose to him, great ears, very circular and round structured eye set, and he has just got a great personality, playful but yet trusting and wants to listen. He's going to make a great option for one of you. This is Red Boy, and size-wise, he is just barely behind Blue Boy, which means he is going to be a little bit larger as well. I anticipate him to be at the top of the scale of what we've estimated. He is really nicely structured, and he's got just beautiful wavy fur to him. All of their fur is going to continue to come in, but his is a little bit more advanced at this stage. He's got a little white tip at the tip of his tail, which won't be that noticeable as he gets older, but it is just a fun feature that he has, as well as the slight markings on his paws. Definitely in the apricot category with his coat. He's got a little bit of a two-tone look to him, as you can see, just different colorations all the way through that fur, but really dense and thick coat. That's going to be beautiful as he grows up. Personality-wise, he is definitely a playful boy, and he is food motivated, but he's also very trusting, great eye contact on him, as you can see right here, and he's just going to make an absolute fantastic pet. He would do well with 1 or 2 dogs in a household, just very easygoing. So those are the puppies. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. This has been such a fantastic litter, and we're excited to hear from you, go through the process with you, and then find just the right puppy for each and every one of you. As you go through this process, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. And in 1 short week, we're going to be matching you with your forever puppy, and in 2 short weeks, we're going to be placing it in your arms. We can't wait for that day, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.